What's up, guys? Jeremy Clark here, Phil's Jackson on X, and I'm just wanted to take a look at a couple things on the DOM I've been discussing with Gemini, our teammate in the Premium Tier Futures Discord, and we've been watching the price ladder, and I have two DOMs set up here for ES. So on the left, this is with 2-tick compression. You can see the numbers going from 0 to 50, 0 to 50. This is with 1-tick compression. So it goes 25, 50, 75, 25, 50, 75. So generally I watch the 2-tick compression DOM and I trade off of, well, that's not true. I trade off of both of them, but I typically will trade off of an eval account on the 2-tick chart, and I'll use the 1-tick chart to be more precise with my entries on the live accounts. And the reason for that, I'll show you, is when I'm using the auction vista, I base this off of the 2-tick chart. I'm sorry, I base the auction vista off the 1-tick. And the reason why is if there's any liquidity voids, like that little one peeking out right there at 51, 24, 25, those will typically fill if price goes in that direction. So you can see there's two right here, and there's a bit of sell side liquidity right there that's gonna, act as resistance. So on a 2-tick compression chart, these would be squashed together, and I wouldn't have as precise an exit. If I was going to aim for one of these liquidity voids, I would aim for the first one, not the second, typically, depending, of course. But so that's why I use the 1-tick compression on the auction vista. Now popping back over to the DOM, I have the 2-tick on the left and the 1-tick on the right, and I am in sim right now just for safety, and I'm going to just cover these up so it's not as overwhelming. So I'm watching, I like to compare the two DOMs. Sometimes I'll even put them right next to each other, like so, if I can get it to do it without the computer freaking out. Just close that over and see if I can slide it over. Something like this. So I can see really precisely, I can compare the 1-tick to the 2-tick. So what we've been talking about, me, Gemini, and myself, we get these pockets of liquidity on both sides. You can see the sellers up here. I have them highlighted. These are highlighted at 240 lots or greater. And down here you've got buyers. So you can see this is the range right here between buyers and sellers. This is the spread. It's not a lot to work with. So unless you know price is going to break in either direction, if I was to put in a sell here, it's going to get killed by these buyers. If I put a buy here, it's going to get killed by these sellers. So unless I have a real strong sense of direction, looking at the open interest, price is kind of in an upswing, but you see this 2-lot right here, this is going to act to block it. And so, whatever price level that is, I can't quite see it, but it's going to stop price for, right around this area, which matches what's going on in the DOM. Over here you can see the session value area low, and that lines up with this block of resistance as well. So moving back over to the 1-tick chart, or the 1-tick DOM, I have this set to highlight lot orders of 140 or more, so it's, 120, so it's half of 240. So 2-tick is on 240, and this is on 120. And this changes depending on the session. Earlier I was at 50, I was highlighting 50 lots and 100 lots, in the pre-market because the volume was lower, and then I switched to, at one point I had, the 2-tick was on 400 lot and 200 lot. So right now we're down to 120 and 240, and you can see prices just bouncing around between this spread right here. It does look like sellers are trying to impose their will right there. So that's interesting. You can see the open interest just slid to the downside. But what we've been talking about, I know this is a long drawn out intro, it's been my experience lately that if I get into a trade, let's say I want to go short and I see all of this support down here, I know that my trade's going to get shot down, so it's kind of pointless. Even right now with sellers asserting themselves, I know that buyers are going to fight back right here. So if I don't, if price was to break through, you see this 300 lot, and then you have, 144 lots trying to take on 150 lots right around here in the spread. I would need to see like 200s all the way down, and I would need to see polling happening here. So these would be, the buyers on the bid would need to be getting lower, less and less. And right now what I'm seeing is they're stacking up almost equal. So right now this is a very balanced looking market. You can see there's more sellers up here, and if I just slide down, we're looking at almost 9,800 sellers to 9,200 buyers. So there's like a 400 or 500 lot difference. It's not a lot. It's not enough to necessarily move the market. It's enough to cause some havoc and some confusion. I'm looking over here at the regular chart on TradingView. To my left, it's not on the screen, but this does look like buyers are trying to fight back. So even though there's technically fewer buyers on the DOM, 97 versus 94, a lot of times that's what happens when there's a slight difference to the, it looks like the sellers have control, but there may be larger buyers underneath. So if I was to initiate a trade here, I wouldn't expect it to, if I wanted to go long, I wouldn't expect this to blow right through all these highlighted sellers. I would expect them to fight back. So unless I was already long and I was holding a trade, from earlier, I wouldn't enter a trade here and try to fight through this resistance, because it would just get killed. And same thing on the one tick. If I looked at the chart and said, oh, we're at IB low and buyers are dominant, well, are they? It looks like a lot of sellers. This looks like a sell wall to me, and it looks especially strong right here at 5140. This is all the this is just a visual of what's on the DOM, the sellers on the DOM right now. And you can see just above 5140 at 5141, there was a huge sell-off right there. So sellers took over. So if price comes back up into this, they're testing liquidity, but they're not necessarily going to blow through. It'd be very rare to see them blow through. And just to show you what I mean, because price is kind of in an upswing, let's do a tester and just find out. I could be wrong. I'm going to open, I think it's set to one lot here. Just checking I am in sim. I'm just going to double check that I'm in sim here. Sim, okay. So, clicked in. Now you can see it reflected on both DOMs because I opened as if I was in the same account. So I'm going to switch this to a different account just so we don't get confused. Let's go to that one. Okay, so you can see I got in, and price is just bumping up. There's value area low right here at 5138. Just for fun, I'm going to put a profit target. Let's take one at 5142, and let's take how many ticks is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 28. So half of 28 is 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'm going to put a profit, a stop loss here, just so it's about equal. Okay, so we just got, it looks like we just pulled down here. Now we just pulled, sellers pulled, now sellers came back. This is not very definitive to me what's going to happen. I would hate to be sitting in this trade waiting for this to break out. Not saying it won't. All signs are green for bullish right now on the chart. Open interest looks green. Auction Vista looks green, and there's a target of 5140, and that's that liquidity right there. You can see that as a white block of liquidity right there. But I have zero confidence in this trade, and to risk, you know, to get down below all this liquidity, even to risk like $100, if I got, you know, 2 levels below, this could easily sweep down and sweep this level. So I don't really have a safe stop loss here. I'm just watching to see what's going to happen. This is IB low, and let's just take a look here. And again, it does look like buyers are asserting up above IB low, which is 51.35. Let's mark that. I'm going to highlight that. Oops. And so yeah, you can see we blew up 2, 4, 6, 8, about 8 ticks. And what happened? Running into resistance. Again, on the chart, this looks bullish, so this could take off, but I'm very hesitant to run into a balanced market like this where there's just all of this resistance. And you can see I'm already coming back down. Look, we're back at $62 plus 37.50. It's getting pushed down. You know, if I'm in size right here, I'm stressed, right? Because I'm thinking, oh, I jumped in too early. Well, no, I didn't jump in too early. I jumped into a balanced market. There's no imbalance here. So you can see this pushed us right back down to, we're sitting at 12.50 in profit. I don't know. This is just something I've been noticing a lot lately. So, you know, let's say I was long from down here, and then I run into this big block of liquidity. You know, would I target it, or would I start thinking of getting out? I don't know that price has the power to run through that. I really don't. So just looking at, if you want to zoom in a little more on the DOM. So I start watching the bid and the ask, and you can see right here near the spread, you got about 150 lots pushing. Now you got 160 lots selling. Prices coming up. So right in here, it does look like buyers are slightly stronger. Now let's go over to the 1 tick compression and just compare. So you've got about 30 to 40 lots hitting into a 30 to 40 ask. You see, that's real balanced. So every time it pushes up, it gets pushed back down. This is so interesting, you know. So this is what I look for in terms of continuation. You know, we've got 134 lot buyers just printed on the ask right here, and that's, you know, what is it called, absorption. These buyers got absorbed, and these sellers, you can see the 228 to 134 were stronger. So right here where you see all these highlighted orders, they're stronger, and they're pushing back. And look, we just lost all our profits. We're just right back where we started, except now we're in the minus. You know, well, is price going to go down now? I honestly don't know. Again, looking at TradingView, you know, we're losing IB low right here at 51.35. The VWAP band is at 51.32, which there was a previous volume imbalance there, so that's kind of a significant level. You can see there's a ton of sales happen. Minus 1791 lots went out right there. But looking at the, you know, the volume profile, we're in value area low, so this is low volume happening here. This isn't even strong. So, you know, now I was watching this, I was like, oh, I was long, and okay, so now look, we just got a ton of pulling, so that's positive, and that's going to allow price to come up. You know, you can see price did pull back. That's probably a Fibonacci ratio right there. And look, we just got an add. So now we got a 409 sitting at 51.40. Looking over here, that's this big white lot. Do we have the power to get up there? Well, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I would have zero confidence in this trade if I was in it, for real. Looking over here at the open interest on the bottom right, you can see it is strong. There's a 435 lot pushing, so it does look like it wants to come up. Now what happens when it hits this on the left here, this big 5140 lot, I'm sorry, this 5140 level? Okay, now we've pushed above value area low, so generally that's positive for the bulls. As you can see in a big blue candle, there it goes. Okay, so we just hit 5140, we took it out. You can see on the right, we just took that out. And what's happening, we're running into resistance again. So do I stay long? Do I move my target? I'm going to move my target, and let's just see what happens. We are pushing up towards VWAP right here, and this is the point of control right here. This would be VPOC, this would be VWAP. And you can see it all shifted. So, well, let's go ahead and move this to break even. So 5136. Generally, you know, honestly, I wouldn't trade this. I don't think I would trade this. I would be tempted to trade this on the hold above IB low. Okay, so maybe I'm lying. Maybe I would trade this, but I would be very aware that as far as the DOM, this looks super challenging in terms of resistance. Open interest looks strong. Okay, so there's a 4 lot. It's growing. Yeah, price looks strong and bullish here. Now, does it have the power to go back up to... I marked 5144 as the ledge. This is the drop-off point from earlier, or the point of control from the pre-market price action. We've got VPOC up here at 5145.50. 5145.50. I just see some liquidity there on the auction vista. I don't see a liquidity void except higher. So I don't know. If sellers start pushing back here, and there's a ton of them, you know, now we're at IB high and we're just under VWAP, we're breaking VWAP. Looks like we're going to try to take out value area high, which I have marked around 5143. 5143. Yeah, this is looking real tricky. It's also looking real, gosh, the price action looks corrective up until we hit above IB low, and then it started to get more motive and longer, straighter candles, not so choppy. So I'm watching this action right here just to see if the buyers are growing and to see if the sellers are pulling. And you can see we got about 140 to 25, so buyers are still growing here. I'm willing to raise my profit take. I realize this is a bad example of what I was trying to show you, which was, you know, kind of buying into a balanced market. There's obviously a lot of aggression here. I'm going to adjust my lot size to, let's go 280, let's see if that makes a difference. To the bid, 280. Oh, that does make a difference. Okay, so you can see this target up here, 5150.50, which has been a level, an important level all session. There's a 1177 now, 1200 lot. So this is what I would look for in continuation. great big block of sell side liquidity that we can target. Buyers coming in stronger on the DOM. Sellers are pulling on off the ask. And I like to see strength also to the buyers in the market column. So right here, 770 is losing to 791. So price could stall out right here. Could be a little block of resistance or something happening. We're right there by VPOC, so that could be it. Fighting back, fighting back. But again, I would not want to be in this trade with size. Not at all. No idea what this is going to do. You know, I could guess in the open interest that it's going to, you know, continue, but that can change at any moment. So it's really tough to say. So just looking over here on the left, you got this 770 lot. These buyers kind of tapped out at 770, were beat down by 791 on the sell side. And they didn't quite make it to VPOC. They got slapped down right near this ledge. I guess they made it, but they got pushed right back down. And this is the ledge from the pre-market that I highlighted earlier this morning. Let's see if I can pull that up to show you. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. This section right in here was the pre-market, and there's this ledge, and you can see we've gone above it, we've gone below it, and we just tested up. We went below it and tested up under it and failed. This is kind of a oddly shaped profile. If you ask me, it looks like there's unfinished business lower, but price seems to be going higher. So if you look at, you know, yesterday's session formed a bullish P. Pre-market continued that P shape. Just breaking it open to see, you know, here was a nice pullback, bounce, back tested, bounce, and then today we got chop. So this is filling in, creating this sort of D-shaped profile. It does look like there's unfinished business here up above the ledge. That was right around 51.43.75. Let's just say 51.44 was the point of control from the pre-market, and that was Friday's value area high. It was also 51.44. So price is up above value area high 51.44. So that could become support, and it looks like the ledge is now acting as a trampoline to go higher. Yep. So just looking at Bookmap, oof, look at all that liquidity. Whenever I see a big red block of sellers like that, I try to get out before that. I have 51.48.50 marked as a key level. We are still getting momentum to the upside. There's a bunch of sellers right here, 650 lot at 51.50. So these guys may assert themselves. You can see all this action happening. So this is the close too. So there's going to be a bunch of stuff going haywire. Let's just pull up the DOM and watch this for kicks. Oops. So in my trade, I'm still up 560. There's this great big seller right here at 51.50.50. I think I'm going to get taken out. That bong noise was, I believe, the closing bell. An odd closing bell, like a muted clunk. Getting close. What's going to happen? They pulled. Those sellers pulled, so this has room to go. Heck, I'm just going to raise this up for fun. So I feel like everything I talked about in this discussion kind of invalidated the thesis that I was trying to explain, but it was also a poor example. There's situations, we're going to get stopped out right here. There's situations where the DOM is more one-sided, and you'll get to the end of the buyers, and all of a sudden there'll just be a 100 lot or a 200 lot at the bottom, and it'll just keep getting replaced and keep getting replaced. There's an iceberg there. Kind of like how there's an iceberg right here. See this 1409? Price will hit one of these levels, and it'll keep getting pushed back down, pushed back down. So rather than entering a trade there and hoping for it to break, or if I'm in a trade, you know, I protect really quickly. I get out with like 4 or 6 ticks instead of minus 20 or minus 24. Price is really running here. Pretty amazing to watch. So I switched this to 280, so let's raise this one up to, let's say 150. Let's do 150 and 150. Just so I can see if, okay, so you can see there's pretty clear buyers have the advantage here. So we've got 10,000 sellers. We have 12,400 buyers, and you can see they're coming in pretty heavy right here. Just watching this area right here, where you can see them. You can see who's coming in heavier. And okay, so again, that's that level that just got. See, it looks like we should get continuation, but we're getting stomped. And the reason we're getting stomped is there's an iceberg right in this area, so they're going to have to push through that. And it's right at 51.50, which is code for crazy, right? I spotted that level last night, and I thought, oh, for sure, that's going to be a key level. Market makers have a sense of humor, I think. So can it push past 51.51? I don't know. See a lot of absorption happen here. Looking at these numbers, the largest number we have is 37.25 in buyers, and that was right at the value area high of the session, 51.50. So price kind of stalled out there. That might be it. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Even though it's in sim, I still like to track my sim profits. There we go. Put a lock on that. And yeah, good stuff. Just taking a look over here. I did close to 1975 in profit today. Not bad. All right, guys, have a good one. I will post some more stuff as it comes up. We'll be talking about this a little bit more, myself and Jim and I, and when I get a better example, hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to record that as well. And anyway, that's some tips for using the DOM. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that like button if you really like it. Give me hit the subscription button, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.